Hello, everyone from Practicum 2 SEDN 683. This is Module 2, and I will be presenting my class. Welcome. This is a kindergarten 12 to 1 to 1 classroom, and we will start with my guided questions that consist of why is it important to collaborate with professionals to increase the student's success? What are other ways you can increase the interaction among students and teacher and students? This is aligned with um, the focus learners. We'll start with Edwin, who is in kindergarten. He's a 6-year-old, and he has a one-on-one paraprofessional that helps him with behavior issues. It's a crisis intervention para. So Edwin gets upset easily. He gets distracted and doesn't know how to control his anger. He benefits from movement breaks. He has a hard time transitioning. Um, and sometimes he doesn't want help from adults. He likes to be independent and try. Um, he has difficulty remembering his letters and forgets his sight words. Therefore, he also has issues with writing and gets frustrated easily, which can cause meltdowns. He benefits from the teacher writing sentences for him or sentence starters. He does try hard and he does like to get stickers and get rewarded, get praise. Positive praise works for him. As far as Natasha, she is a bilingual student that speaks Spanish at home, only Spanish at home, and is learning English in school. She has a paraprofessional for um, because she's bilingual and because she has learning disabilities. So she knows all her letter sounds. However, she has trouble putting the sounds together. She has trouble paying attention and staying focused, so she needs a lot of refocusing. She also needs her steps or tasks segmented into smaller one step direction. She is good with visuals and she needs time when given a task. She also wears glasses that she tends to forget. As far as my HLP, I chose HLP1, collaborate with professionals to increase student success. With collaboration with one-on-one paraprofessionals, it allows for Edwin to take breaks. Everyone's on the same page as far as the adults. We are working with Edwin to stay for the whole mini lesson and get full instruction prior to taking a break. He'll earn those breaks and earn those points or stickers. And the paraprofessional knows that if it is a little, if he is getting anxious, he can go for that break if it's too long. As far as Natasha, her paraprofessional helps check in with her for understanding. Um, she interprets when needed. She refocuses, and both of them just help in general. They're an extra eyes and ears in the classroom. And at the beginning of class, we collaborate, and at the end, we set feedbacks. We see what works, what doesn't work, um, and what we can continue. So it's very important. As far as the second HLP, I chose HLP 7, establish a consistent, organized, and respectful learning environment. Um, for my learners, my focus learners, organization is key. For both of them, the flow of the day is important. Knowing what's coming next for Edwin is imperative because he now knows that he has what he's going into next. So sometimes if it's a subject that he doesn't like, we know that he could take a longer break in between transitions. Or um, I am a big advocate for alarms on my computer so that the students know, oh, I have 10 more minutes for this period to end, or 10 more minutes for the next period to start, and they all get a break or a go noodle. For Natasha, keeping everything labeled and organized in the classroom is good for her visual vocabulary, um, understanding more words and looking at the pictures, um, which is helpful for her. As far as Danielson, we have the elements of component 2D, expectation and monitoring student behavior. So as far as this, in this lesson, I would make sure I go over expectations prior to lessons. So it would be more of a, before we begin, what do good listeners do? Um, when someone's speaking, how many people are speaking at the same time? Just one. And if they answer well, start them off with points. And this helps Edwin, for example, know the expectation who needs it the most, without showing him favoritism or isolating him in general. And he does enjoy the reward system. And component 2A, teacher interaction with students and student interaction with other students. This benefits both focused learners as far as socializing with children and peers in this age group. This is the most that they get interaction. So for Natasha, it's great because she can start conversation. She can um, collaborate with her peers. And as far as Edwin, he can learn how to um, be disagreeable or take turns, which he needs to work on. As far as the teacher, the tone that the teacher presents in the class sets the tone for the class. So making sure that you are genuinely caring and want their best interest at heart is necessary for them to feel that. And they do feel it. Um, so then I would start my lesson. And this lesson is a read aloud for I Like Myself. So we would start with the focus question, which is I can identify the characters and setting and main events, which help me understand a story better, and the standards which align with this lesson. Um, as for their success criteria, I would have them repeat this. I am successful if I can listen to a story and answer questions. I can identify the setting, the character, and the main idea so they are aware of what's coming in this lesson. So this would be their motivation of the lesson just by observing. And these are great reader skills that children need. Um, what do you see on the front cover? Something simple, something to get their minds turned on. I like to tell them, let's turn on your mind. Um, and they would all collaborate together in this question. Then we would tap into their prior knowledge, something that they've already learned in prior lessons, what an author does, what an illustrator does. And then I would start the book. As I start the book, I would stop and check for understanding with tier 1 and tier 2 questions as far as the lesson. And for the end, I would, as the class, collaboratively, we would go over who the characters are, what the setting is, and the main event in the story, what were the main events or the main idea. I would show them what their paper looked like. We're writing the title, and they get to draw a picture. Some children would get paper with lines so that they can write a sentence. Others will label their picture with initial sounds or words that they know. Um, and this is a good chance before they go and do that independent work is to do a quick formative assessment. I would, as I'm giving them the sheets, ask them, oh, what character you're going to put, what setting you're going to put, what is the main idea of the story. And as they answer, I would know if they understood the lesson. If they didn't, then we would go into small group instruction. Um, they can pair up and continue to work if necessary. As far as differentiated instruction, I would give the option of sentence starters for children. Students that have trouble with copying will label their work with the initial sound, like I said before. ENL students will be grouped with a peer that speaks both languages if formative assessment is at least 80% comprehension. That's not Natasha. Natasha would sit with her para in a small group because she needs more time. She needs things repeated. Um, she will use just one task at a time. So she would just get a paper that says just the character, kind of like the one in Independent. Her paper would just have this box instead of all three boxes. Um, and she would get it scribed for her. She would either copy it or trace it. As far as Edwin, he would get a checklist and we'll check off anything he completed. So he would have, oh, this is task one, settings, oh, I'm done, and so on and so forth. They would both get be given extra time, and if needed, Edwin would be placed in a preferred place. For as far as the wrap up, we would go into what makes the girl special, how are you like the girl, what makes you special. So what makes you special is an introduction to the next lesson. So with time, if whoever finishes early would get to do this activity as well, and then we would continue this activity in the next lesson. um, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.